I'm super excited to be here today talking about the topic that's really at the core of our mission here at Brillio. But to start off, I wanted to use a much used piece of data that I'm sure all of you guys have heard of many, many times. One that talks about the incredible acceleration in the speed of change that we're witnessing all around us. Think about it. 68 years for the airline industry to hit its first 50 million, 46 years for electricity, and only 7 years for internet to get to the same point. And then the interesting stuff starts happening. 3 years for Instagram to get to 150 million. And what's really remarkable is that just last year, Disney Plus in its first day of operation enrolled 10 million users. This incredible acceleration in the adoption of technology is the context of our lives today. But what is even more remarkable than the speed of change is the change in the behavior of all of us. Back in 2005, 2006, I'm sure you've heard, don't talk to strangers on the internet, never get into a stranger's car. And today, as most of you know, we literally use the internet to call strangers and get in their car. That in itself, I think, is a powerful metaphor for how the world has changed and how quickly it has changed. So, if you start to think, what does all of this mean to us as business leaders? I really like the way Satya Nadella talks about it whenever he talks about the subject of tech intensity. And he says, today all companies are software companies, and every company has to start thinking and operating like a digital company. Jeff Bezos in a recent remark said, our business is not what's in the brown boxes. It's the software that sends the brown boxes their way. Honeywell is on a mission to turn a legacy industrial manufacturer into a software provider for many sectors. And in the middle of this pandemic, Disney reinvented itself using technology to redefine what entertainment and leisure can mean for us. So I think it would be fair to say at this point that it doesn't matter what you manufacture, whether you manufacture tires, you generate electricity, you provide health services, software-driven or software-led competition is getting ready to eat your lunch or is already eating your lunch. So here's the new mantra for all of us to be resilient, for our businesses to be relevant in the future, and for us to thrive. It's simple. Every company has to become a software company. That's the only choice. But let's pause for a moment and think, what really is a software company? How do you define such a thing? From our perspective, any enterprise that is transforming itself, that is embracing the opportunities of our current time by pushing a very adaptive culture, by keeping software and technology at the core of its mission, that is obsessed with driving new experiences and creating new revenue streams, that's a software company. Unfortunately, this massive transformation of turning a business into a software-led business is not easy. We're seeing all around us this transformation accelerate, as well as the number of false starts, complete failures. Analysts today estimate that more than half of all such transformations are failing. The question is why? You see, in my mind, the answer is simple. To win in this highly disrupted business ecosystem, it's not good enough to be a software company. You have to be a great software company, and that is really, really hard. Brillio's mission is to help businesses turn itself into great software companies. So today, I want to share with you a few of the lessons that we've learned along this journey of helping customers become great software companies. At the heart of becoming a great software company is to be an organization that is comfortable with uncertainty, that's comfortable with volatility, that's comfortable with dealing with a complex and interconnected ecosystem of customers, partners, and so many other contributors to your ecosystem. A great software company is not a very safe place. And it's not a place where you can plan too far into the future. It's a place where you have to learn how to adapt to failures really, really quickly, where speed itself is a differentiator. That is why becoming a great software company is so difficult. It's counterintuitive to everything that we have learned and done for many, many years. When I reflect on the examples where we have seen success, there are a few key takeaways, and I want to share those with you today, and hopefully some of these will resonate as you reflect on your own journey. Let me start by saying that the paradigm The relationship between technology and the businesses they serve must change. We can't be a siloed support function. It's not good enough to be highly collaborative. We must bring software to the core of the business. For this transformation that we are talking about, of software being at its core, means that the people who run businesses, the executives who run businesses, must start thinking like software executives. So let's talk a little bit about what is it to start thinking like a software executive. First and foremost, one has to be very clear that the organizational strategy needs to be driven like that of a software business. Now, if you're a software business and you need to think about your organization strategy in that context, you need to be constantly looking for new business models that are enabled by technology. You need to be constantly looking at how to monetize your existing data. And you need to be constantly looking at how your customers interact with your products and services and how do they get value out of them. And for all of this to happen, you have to start by adopting a very product-centric approach. Gone are the days when you'll be able to plan something 2 or 3 years in advance, or adopt some kind of a canned product that'll take you out there. There is no silver bullet. You need to create your own products and platforms. And you can do that by marrying your unique value proposition with what the latest technology can offer. And all of this can become your absolute competitive advantage. To do all of this with a whole bunch of unknowns requires you to adopt design thinking, and design thinking that's pervasive across your entire firm. The second key element that is required for anybody to become a great software company is to make sure that your technology delivery model, the way you deliver it to your business, is built for resilience and agility at scale. With the assurance that you now get with a highly scalable infrastructure on your side, you're talking about cloud, you're talking about serverless, automation, SRE, DevSecOps, all of this stuff that goes with this highly scalable infrastructure. Once you marry that with your vision for how you deliver technology with the right set of service partnerships, you're going to be there. What kind of partners are we talking about? Partners who are born digital, partners that are constantly capability focused, outcome oriented, partners that understand the importance of speed and how speed can help you accelerate getting the value from your code and your data into the hands of your customers. A few good questions to start with. How can you accelerate your build cycles? How can you marry that better with your core USP? How can your software help remove barriers of consumption by your customers? How can you create new revenue streams that your business is currently not thinking about? And thirdly, explore deeply how your software investments are as future-proof as you can make them. Future-proofing will require you to focus on some of the other foundational elements, like investing in a highly emergent and flexible technology architecture that is anchored around what your business is trying to do. I'm talking about APIs, microservices, containers, AI and ML at scale, and so on and so forth. The need is for you to push the boundaries at every possible level. Finally, I would like you to leave with this thought, which in some sense addresses not so much the process part or the strategy part or the technology delivery part, but the mindset part, the culture in your firm. For any company to become a great software company, executives have to adopt a software mindset. A software mindset, in our view, has 5 specific dimensions. First and foremost is the dimension of making sure that you assign problems, not tasks, to people who deeply understand technology. Don't tell them to go build a software. Ask them to figure out what's the best way to create more value for your customers. Second, create an environment where your teams can tolerate some failures and learn from it, and rather than feel punished by these failures. Experimentation is going to be key to this software mindset that we're talking about. Third, speed is a differentiator. Speed can become the most important differentiator that you have. Become obsessed with speed. Hunt relentlessly and continuously to take time away from the value chain of what creates real value in your company. How do you get that code into production faster? This is not a one-time thing. You have to do this all the time. Getting early wins will also help you keep the funding going. Fourth, make developers become very close to customers. Don't ask them to sit in their own world and develop code. Make them as close to the actual customers in the markets that they're trying to serve. And finally, rely on multiple value streams. Don't single thread stuff. You don't have to move your software to the cloud first and then think about building the next cloud native apps, which can then create new revenue streams. You can and must do all of this in parallel and continuously learn from all of this. In summary, drive your business strategy with technology at its core, sharpen your technology delivery machinery, future-proof everything, and make product mindset, a software mindset, all pervasive in your organization. That is what we have learned in our short journey as a born digital services firm, helping customers become great software companies.